Hi y'all, we're Alec and Cindy and we're sharing the journey. And if you've been watching us for a while, you know that for almost the past 6 years we've been living full-time in our 2019 Tiffin open road, and we work camp our way across country. Well, we find ourselves headed out to go Christmas shopping because we're home with the family for this season. Normally we just write a check
or order it off of Amazon and have it delivered.
But we're actually going to do some physical shopping for some physical presents today. So that's what we're headed to do. And we thought that the other thing that we did is we bought a nativity scene. Now, since our kids were little, we've had a Christmas tradition, and I'd like to say I'm sorry about my voice. Somehow my voice has gotten irritated and I sound like a chipmunk. So I apologize and enjoy the video anyway.
Well, it's become our Christmas tradition, but we had somebody do this for us, and we just passed it on and have done it.
So our kids are 23 to 34 years old, roughly. I'm probably wrong, but that's what I think they are. And there's 6 of them.
Which makes us old.
Right, so when we lived in our Sticks and Bricks in Columbia, South Carolina, we heard one evening a knock at our door. And this was around Christmas time, about 14 days before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the kids, I think, went and checked the door. There was nobody there. They went out on the front porch, and there was a package there.
Yes.
And what was in the package, Cindy?
Well, this particular one just had like a piece of wood platform. Just, about 1/4 of an inch thick, about 8 inches wide, right?
Yes.
Or in an oval.
And we were very confused.
But in the note, it basically said, be on the lookout for a gift to be delivered every evening from now till Christmas, and unwrap it and put it with this platform thing.
The kids got very excited.
Well, they were still confused the first night, but the second night it became more apparent what was going on, and they were excited to see what the next little gift thing was going to be.
So like the next night they got like a sheep or something.
An animal.
And then so we've kind of changed it a little bit. Like tonight is going to be the first night for us, and we're going to give the little manger scene and a figure. So what do you do for the whole course of
All right,
this?
well, I'm just going to show what we bought.
Okay.
Which is back here in the back seat.
Nativity scenes we have found over the years have gotten much more difficult
to find. They're not as readily available. Especially ones that are reasonably priced, let's say that. So I found this little house. We got it at Hobby Lobby. And
50% off.
Yes. And so we found this little house, which is a stable to me.
Right.
And we're going to give them this tonight. And I bought just a little gift bag and tissue paper to put it in. We found a nativity scene with all the little people, and
that's $29.99 at Hobby Lobby, and we got it 50% off.
Right. And so it's got Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus and the 3 wise men and the angel and a couple of animals and a shepherd, I think. Yeah. And so what we typically do is every evening from now till Christmas Eve, we will I usually start with the animals, and then we'll do the shepherd, because you got to have someone to keep watch over the animals. And
pull one of the little figures out and show it where they can see it.
And then we always let the kids kind of choose which piece they wanted to give that night,
Right.
which they had fun with. And you try to sneak up to their doorstep, put it on the doorstep, and leave without them noticing. That's one of the animals. Let me show you one of the people. It's one of the people, one of the wise men.
He looks very wise, by the way.
But we always let our kids pick and choose which one they wanted to deliver that night. They would package it all up, and our kids had a blast with it.
And we would pick somebody from church or a kid in the neighborhood. When we moved out to Eastover, we lived on a farm, so we didn't live in a neighborhood. So that's when we switched over to
somebody from church that had small children.
However, I remember one year when we got new neighbors, built a house. Jill and her family built a house on the farm next to us.
We did it to them.
Her husband was a big hunter. And he tried to catch the kids because he wanted to know who did it. And Davis really got into it that year. He put blackout or green stuff on his face. He put on
he wore a green jacket.
He would army crawl through the bushes getting into their farm and put it on their front door, and the kids would run.
He came in one night and he had pine straw and stuff stuck in his hair.
It was pretty funny.
We've had a lot of fun with it throughout the years. And on the night on Christmas Eve, we deliver baby Jesus, and we would deliver it as a family. Us and all the kids would go.
We'd knock on the door.
We'd knock on the door, and we would sing, "We wish you a Merry Christmas."
Which now it's just Cindy and I. It's painful for the people. But so this year we've got a family in the campground that has a 5-year-old daughter, or granddaughter.
Yeah, 4-year-old.
4-year-old, and so we're going.
So we thought it'd be fun.
And our daughter Lane, who is a school teacher, she's writing the note for us. We're going to go pick it up while we're in town from her, because she's always written the notes. But
well, she's really good at writing the note. I always get too wordy. My children, Mommy, you always get too wordy.
So from now until Christmas Eve, we'll be delivering a figure every night, putting it on the doorstep of this camper, and hopefully the little girl likes it. But that is a tradition that we've been doing for like 30 years, for most years. Some years we've been at campgrounds where there were no kids.
Yeah, where there were no kids. But our kids had the best time. It gave them something to look forward to every single day.
And they weren't just thinking about what they were receiving, what their gifts were going to be.
Yes.
What cool Nintendo game, excuse me, that they were going to get.
And then the years that we did it to someone else, they were thinking about, okay, how are we going to sneak up on the house tonight?
Right.
Let's look and see if they're watching, you know.
We've had people put out deer cameras. You remember the one family, the Gordons parents? They figured out it was us, and on the day before Christmas Eve, they hung an ornament out for us and said, "Alec, we know it's you."
But we still have that ornament, and we hang it on the tree, and we remember that every year.
So it's an idea of maybe a tradition you can start with your family. We're glad that we were able to find a nativity scene this year, and we spent under $30.
Yeah.
roughly, so it's not an expensive thing to do, and we've always had fun with it. So
A lot of fun with it.
Cindy and I want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas and hope y'all have a Happy New Year.
Yep.
We'll talk to you later.